Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Beguiled by Books. Today, we're going to talk about reading goals and what that means for you in your reading journey. Let's get started. Reading goals are really interesting to me. I certainly set a reading goal for myself every year. My goal is to read 100 books every year, which averages about 2 a week. For me, that's pretty doable. I read a wide variety of books from lots of different genres and have a lot of exposure to a lot of things, and that makes sense for me. But what I'm seeing so frequently on Goodreads and the Story Graph, which is my preferred tracking mechanism, that so many of the reading goals are turning into competitions, and that can be good and that can be not so good. So it's really interesting to me to dig into why people like to read, and more specifically, why they like to track the books that they read. It started for me years ago of just knowing what I have read and what I have yet to read. That's why I started tracking books that I read. Then through Goodreads, I started seeing that it kind of bucketed itself nicely in a calendar format. Sometimes Goodreads has some decent statistics at the end of the year to help you see what your year in reading looks like and how that compares to your friends on Goodreads. That's all well and good, and I did enjoy that at the beginning. However, when I first learned about the app, the Story Graph, which I highly recommend, this is not sponsored by the Story Graph, I just love it so much. The Story Graph really is a data-driven way of looking at the books that you're reading, and I find that really interesting. I'm able to track books that I own, books that I have read in print format or digital or audio format. There's a lot of really cool manipulation you can do with the data, especially if you're a Plus member, and that's a paid for subscription. You can, of course, use it for free, but there is a ton of data that's at your fingertips, and it's just really fascinating to learn about your own reading habits if that's why you like to track. Now, a couple people like to do competitions amongst friends, and that's great too if everyone's of the same mindset. What we don't want to do with tracking books and having those goals is discourage people from reading because they set unattainable goals or because their friends are reading twice or three times as many books as them. That's not what tracking is all about. So, is tracking even good? I think yes. I think tracking the books that you read is helpful. If nothing else, when you are an avid reader, it helps you keep organized what you have read. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a book and I've gone, "Ooh, this looks interesting," only to find out I read it 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. So that's really, really helpful. But I don't want anyone to look at reading goals as reading quotas. This isn't a job. This isn't something that you have to do in order to reach a monetary bonus or some special achievement or award. This is all in good fun. So if you're feeling stressed or you're feeling uh, diminished or defeated because you're not reaching your reading goals, change your reading goals or just ignore them completely. Don't have them. Read for enjoyment. I think reading goals can be really helpful. They help remind you of the things you're striving for, especially if you're just getting back into reading or you've never been a reader, but you want to be. It's really, really helpful. If you're already an avid reader and you're just increasing your goal year after year, 100, 110, 120, 150, what is actually sustainable for you and why do you continue to increase it? If the goal is to just read more books, are you enjoying those books? Are you choosing books that make you happy, or are you choosing books to help you reach that goal? Get into the why of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and that will really help in your goal setting. As always, I would really love to know what your goals are. How are you tracking them? Are you using Goodreads, the Story Graph, a good old-fashioned spreadsheet, or a notebook? What are you doing to track those goals? Please drop a comment below and let me know. Always interested in hearing that. And please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day.